the end result of your service, whether it's SEO or Facebook, whatever it is that you're doing, has to result in a conversion, right? Because otherwise, to your point, like, people are going to expect some level of bespoke customization, time, attention. If they're going to pay you 50 grand a month and you're not driving that much business value exponentially or more, you're not going to be able to charge that on a productized service model, right? Which means then you have a model that is big consulting, that is always going to require you to go out and find extremely intelligent people that are extremely expensive. They're always jumping around company to company, right? But when you have this perfect combination of who plus what, which is the market plus a service that's going to drive business results for them, you can charge based on the margin, right? And if a PI attorney is they're expecting to make $1 million plus more per case, one, you don't have to drive a ton of volume, right? Two, you get them a couple cases and they paid your retainer for years, right? So you basically build this business model that you can stack on top of, and you stack a few of those clients. Next thing you know, you got a couple $1 million in revenue in the bank for off of a couple headcount. How do you guys handle links? Especially because personal injury, again, is like arguably one of the most competitive spaces on the internet. Like, you cannot get results without links, without authority. How do you guys approach link building when it comes to the most competitive clients that you have?
Let's talk about the different ways to get labor in terms of leverage. So as an agency owner, you can hire a full-time employee. That is high effort because you got to train them, you got to have culture, you have to take care of them. They may leave, but you have high control. You can get that full-time employee to do whatever you want. If you have a freelancer, it is medium effort, medium control, meaning the effort's there because you don't hire a freelancer that typically doesn't know the craft. Typically, they know how to do the thing you're hiring for, but low control or medium control because someone else could hire them and take their utilization. And then you have a vendor or outsourcing, which is taboo, which is strange to say because we all eat at restaurants, right? Yeah. And we all outsource, but it's taboo, the word, right? Let's call it strategic partners. It's low control, low effort. Low control because they're an assembly line. They're making widgets. You're not going to tell them how to change their factory to make that, but it's super low effort because you hire them because they know how to make the widget, right? So that's first is the decision of what you need, right? And that different directions, right? You could go full-time employee. You could create your own database. You can do that. You could do subs. And maybe a hybrid there or strategic partner. We at this time use a strategic partner because the margins when we've done it, we've done all three. We've done in-house, we've done the subs, and we've done outsourcing. And just the amount of scale, if you're only buying $10,000 worth of links a month, then you're going to get X price. But if you're spending, say, $200,000 a month, you're going to get a significant discount. And you're also going to have a little bit of leverage in terms of control. You will acquire some of that because you're such a heavily weighted client and they really want your input and they want to retain you. That's what we do currently. We outsource links. I know you hear outsource links, you think buying, but it's still editorial outreach. We're looking for good links and good vendors. And it's that iron triangle of good, fast, and cheap. You can only get two.
Yeah.
So
we get it, man. You don't have to justify it to us.
Yeah, cool.
We're all dirty SEOs over here. We understand how it is. So are you passing that cost on? So that has a hard cost then, right? Like, you're outsourcing link building, they're charging you per link or they're charging you for a set of links, right? How do you frame that to the client? Are you telling them, hey, we're working with a PR partner, or do you just bake that into your retainer and then decide how much each month to allocate to link building?
So we've changed right now, and this may change next month. Who knows? The only thing itemized in our contract is content. It's the only thing itemized. Link building, we have a check mark. And the reason is because I want to allocate the budget to get results. And that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
And if I have I need to get 10 links, maybe I have an opportunity for one great link that I want to invest in, or maybe I want to use some of that budget to do even additional content. I like flexibility to be more results oriented, to be more performance oriented. That's just how I treat it. Now, the downside of that is it's very difficult to grow an existing retainer. If you don't itemize links and you need more links, what are you going to say to them? How much you're already budgeting, right? But if you're selling hours, you can always ask for more hours. If you're selling 10 pages a month and you need more content, you can tell them, hey, we need 14. So that's the downside of when you don't itemize, it becomes more challenging. And typically you have to cross-sell into other services. That's how you extend your retainer. So cross-sell into ads or paid social or whatever.
I'll ask about that in a second, but just to wrap on this point, because we've been through it. And I think, again, for those listening, obviously only maybe some of you here might work with attorneys, but it's important to understand this when it comes to your market position, your client avatar, right? Before, when we were working primarily with B2B SaaS, we would itemize everything because they understood exactly what went into SEO. They understood how many hours it should be for technical, how many pieces of content they should have and what they should be paying in links. So we would itemize all that. And then we would go in being like, hey, if you want results faster, we're putting it right into this, right? Like, you want to rank faster? Let's get more links. Let's get more content. But when we started moving to attorneys, we found that it was really hard during the sales process to get them to wrap their heads around that. They were like, we don't really care what you do with the money. Just get our phone ringing and do it so we're profitable. So to your point, now we just do flat monthly cost. I do break down for them a little bit about where that money is going. So when I charge them, when they see a bill for $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month, they're not like, wow, that's a lot. I explain to them, we're only getting so much of this. We're taking this money and putting it directly into basically PR and content writing, right? There's hard costs that come along with this service, but we just button it up and be like flat fee per month. In the way that we look at it too, in terms of growing it, for us, it's less about growing it. It's more, I don't want to say setting it and forgetting it, but more about like building that long-term relationship with them, because the longer they're there, the less we do. So we're building more profitability on the account, as opposed to, because when you start adding on other services like paid social, you're also adding on a lot more time and energy and a lot more expectations versus an account that's doing well.